He could be in the driving seat, you never know. We'll find out over the course of the next 2 evenings. We're up to heat number 6 of round 3. Next trick off the inside, then it's Mikkelsen for the first time. Matti Zagar off gate, number 3, 2 points to his name. And the Gorzhov rider, Niels Christian Iversen, going off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. This is heat number 6. And what about Max Frick? Many people expected that Max would find it difficult. He showed glimpses as an injury replacement last season in the GP, but as a permanent Grand Prix rider, I think many people did think that Max was going to find it tough in his debut year.
It's been difficult so far. He's got loads of ability, and there's no doubt that he can ride absolutely at the very highest level. He's made a final already, but being a permanent rider brings its own pressures, and so far he's found that tough. He hasn't been super in the extra league, or he's found points at times difficult to come by there for Wrocław, but this is part of the learning curve. I hope that he doesn't go out of the Grand Prix, but it's going to be a tall order for him to make the top 6.
It is indeed. Heat number 6 it is down here. And will they get away first time of asking? Yes, they do. And it's Max Frick who's made a decent one off Gainer Moore. But watch out here for Zagar in white now, just drifting out wide and charging up the inside in blue as well as Mikkelsen. But now it's Matti Zagar in second spot, charging through here. In yellow is Niels Christian Iversen. But the lead is with Max Frick, who made a beautiful start from the inside gate.
This is more like it from Frick. Absolutely nailed the start, got to the first turn and rode beautifully round the inside line to get himself to the front. Zagar's looking very threatening, beginning to wind it on in second place. Iversen really forcefully charging through in the third place, with Mikkelsen tailed off this time. Frick's out in front, but he's under pressure. Zagar's won here before. He likes Gorzhov. He's been a Gorzhov rider in the past, so there's real action out in front. We need to be watching it. Zagar now coming through, passes him, the vital moment in the race. Frick coming back for more. Proper speedway out in front.
Oh, and Max Frick closed the door on Matti Zagar there as well. Both former Bellevue Aces riders, of course, in the UK.
Good speedway out in front.
It was indeed great stuff. Max Frick and Matti Zagar having a real ding-dong battle there. And that's entertainment once again in Gorzhov tonight. And Max Frick will feel really, really boosted by a race win like that, because he's had to work hard for it. And he has got the 3 points on the board, much needed, much welcome. And Niels Christian Iversen had to work hard as well to get the better of his fellow countryman Mikkelsen. So Frick up to 4 points, as is Zagar.
Encouraging.
Yeah, that will be a big boost for Max Frick's confidence, and that's great to see.
Yeah, well, it was a terrific race. We almost missed it when Zagar came charging up the inside there, because Zagar had speed in his opening ride, and he still retains it here. Smashing start from the Australian on the inside, hugs the inside. Iversen coming charging down the inside of Mikkelsen. Can't quite get there initially, but then was able to force his way into third place. Zagar's the man to keep your eyes on here, because he's working the track, building momentum, getting more and more speed, working out where Frick is riding. And now Zagar sees it. This is the opportunity into the last lap, gets up the inside, but just runs in a little bit narrow, runs a bit wide. Frick reads it nicely and is able to get back up the inside, slams the door shut down the back straight for the first time, and the Australian will be absolutely delighted with that. Vital World Championship points on the board, and heat wins really build your confidence. Look, you know way you're coming through there, Matty. Slam the door shut. Frick, well, that was much more encouraging from him. He'll be pleased as punch with it.
Yeah, well done, Max Frick. Started his European professional career with the Edinburgh Monarchs, who holding British Youth Round, I noticed, behind closed doors very soon. So good luck to everybody involved with that. Good to see. And here we move on now to heat number 7. Leon Madsen off the inside gate. One of several riders on a warning, of course. And he's alongside Antonio Limbach off gate number 2. Martin Vasilik won a first time out, as was Patrick Dudek, remarkably involved in a horrifying looking crash, picked himself up, no problem, won the rerun.
Brilliant, and showed great character in doing so. It's got a wonderful limp. Speedway riders generally limp, but he's got a limp on the right hand side, not on the left hand side, so he's kind of evened it up. But certainly was very impressive in heat number 1 when they got away with it. Madsen was looking pretty threatening when he passed Mikkelsen, but couldn't quite hang on to the lead. He's on the inside. Interesting to see what he can do from there. But there's a couple of race winners here.
thought Madsen had plenty of speed in his own ride, so let's see how effective he can make that. He made the start from the inside gate here in this heat number 7, and sweeping around the other side is Martin Vasilek, charging hard here. That's Antonio Lindback in the blue helmet colour, and Patrick Dudek. His inconsistency against stripes is at the back, but Leon Madsen has the lead, looking good. Vasilek though might just push him hard here. He's keeping him honest up top and working him hard.
Yeah, good start from Madsen. He behaved himself and got away from the inside gate. He's hugging the inside, and Martin Vasilek is pushing hard in second place, running wide now, and just losing a bit of momentum. Madsen's got this, barring any sort of ill fortune, and that'll be great for the day. Needs a lot of points. He was 20 points behind Matvej Janowski coming into tonight, so Leon Madsen chased hard by Vasilek. Dudek pulling up at the back.
He's hurt, mate. He's hurt.
Is he?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the reason, I'm sure.
Madsen wins in Star Night.
Yeah, he does. Leon Madsen from the man in white, Martin Vasilek, then Antonio Lindback, but I'm certain Patrick Dudek is feeling the effects of that incident, which was in the first race of the night. Of course, I guess, Kel, I mean, you must know this as a former rider, adrenaline can get you through a rerun, but then, as you sat in the pit area, reality must strike. Madsen, Vasilek, Lindback and Dudek, reality must strike as the pain intensifies, Kel.
Well, you certainly feel the pain a lot more when you're at the back than when you're at the front. And he was at the front in the rerun of his first ride, and he got tailed off there and quite clearly was feeling the effects of that crash in his opening ride. Disappointment for Dudek. But I've got to say that Leon Madsen looks pretty competitive tonight, and there's no doubt that he has got plenty of speed. Comes away from the inside nicely, behaved himself, got to. If he moves again, he'll be excluded because he's carrying a warning. Martin Vasilek's there. Vasilek looks like he's got himself really sorted out this evening. Another rider that needs a whole hatful of points. Dudek from the outside doesn't get there, clutching away, can't really land a blow, and eventually pulls up at the back. But for Leon Madsen, who we must remind everybody has had 2 back surgeries through the winter and the early part of this year, and that is no small thing, rather. And nonetheless, 5 points from 2 outings. He'll be very pleased with that, and a very good effort, as you rightly say.
Hope Dudek's okay. Hope he can continue. Like you said, he was limping. We wish him all the best. And of course, riders do wear a steel shoe on their left boot to help them get round the bend as they slide the bike round the bend. As a child, I used to take a little tin can as my left boot.
Okay.
On the push bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, hands up at home. Did you used to do that?
Well, maybe they did.
Maybe just me then.
Maybe they did.
Just me then.
Yeah, was it a baked bean pan, or was it something a bit more exotic? But there we are. Good for you, Nige.
Yeah. Emil Seifert off the
A true fan. A true fan.
I want to know. Did you take a flattened tin can to your left boot and ride the push bike as a kid? That's the question. Right, Emil Seifert off in red off the inside. Dennis Matvej off 2. Ty Woodland off 3, and Freddie Lindgren off the outside. This is a terrific lineup, Kelvin.
It is, but more importantly, did you put a flattened can on the bottom of your left foot? That's the important thing. No, this is a wonderful lineup, and Heat 8 is looking really tasty indeed. Lindgren was fast. Janowski looked very useful indeed. Woofenden battling away. Emil Seifert off a class act, but he's struggling for points. He's got the inside gate, needs to take full advantage of it here.
Does indeed. To take prize, this is heat number 8. Everyone will have completed a couple of outings. And now Seifert is there, but watch out for Lindgren charging through the middle. Woofenden is on the inside run, and here comes Lindgren around the outside. Beautiful move. He absolutely chose the right line immaculately there, Frederick Lindgren. Second place is Ty Woofenden. Third in red, Emil Seifert. And the man at the back is Matvej Janowski right now, but he won't be out of this. He'll push hard for all 4 laps for sure.
What a ride from Freddie Lindgren, absolutely powered down the back straight to fire himself to the front, and he's looking really good this evening out in front. Woofenden working the inside line. Seifert off again, not showing great speed in 3rd place, and Janowski surprisingly is at the back. But for Freddie Lindgren, who came into the championship with a whole hatful of points after the first 2 rounds in Wroclaw, is building on that. He's flying away in Heat 8, and what a race to win, super race to win.
Yeah, this is the back. Janowski challenging Seifert off and locks up. Just lost a bit of control there, but Lindgren, magnificent there. And I'll tell you what, Kel, as I say, I'm not an ex-rider. You are. But would you agree with me that the line he picked there won him that race, because it was an immaculate line that he selected?
Spot on, coming out of the first corner there, got his wheels in line, got the speed, roared around the outside, coming from the outside did him a favour. He got that extra swoop around the first turn, and Freddie Lindgren looking good so far.
The series leader Mats Sajanovski has only got 2 points from 2 rides. Lindgren up to 5 with Vasilik and Madsen. On top of the pile is Bartosz Smarslik with 6.
Well, 5 points for Freddie Lindgren from 2 rides, and that's impressive in itself, but more impressive than that is this ride, and particularly the first corner. He's made a good start from the outside, and then switches beautifully there through the pack, round the outside of Woofenden down the back straight, works the treat. It was a smashing decision he made there, the split-second decision he made in the first turn, and a rider on top of his form, and once he hits the front, to be perfectly honest, he didn't look like getting beat from there. The boys in third and fourth, well, they weren't really on the pace here, and again for Janowski, winner last time out in Wrocław, 2 points from 2 rides, not what he was looking for, and Emil Sayfutinov 1 point from 2 rides. The Russians really are struggling here in Gorzów this evening, but for Freddie Lindgren and Leon Madsen and Bartosz Smarslik, they are looking really good so far tonight.
Brilliant ride from Freddie. He's happy with Patrick Dudek. He may not give much away, of course, but you have to have concern for Patrick after that horrific crash.
Well, we'll soon find. Well, he's out heat 11 nights, and you know, it would be nice to know, but World Championship points and his position in the World Championship is vulnerable. He only just crept in from last year, and you've got to wonder whether he'll be invited back. There are 5 wild cards, permanent picks effectively for next year's series, so we'll wait to see what happens there, but concern over Patrick.
Let's hear from Bartosz Smarslik now.
Okay, Bartosz, 2 wins out of 2. You must be feeling happy out there.
Yeah, after winning 2 starts and everything good, I feeling so very nice today. But so the only 2 heats really see what there before me.
We've made 2 different gates work, but it looks like after that grading, the red gate was working. 1 more red gate. Do you think it is the red gate that's working for you?
Yes, okay, but I think so. I'm getting so very close, and doesn't matter what the situation. Very important to push on the clutch and good revs on the going to the corner, and must looking for the setups on the bike, and yeah, I must focus on about this and doing so.
Okay, thanks, Bartosz.
Interesting. I feel there's too much to choose between the gates there. Obviously the inside gate with the red helmet colour, he's got that again. He's got 2 of those. He won nicely in the previous heat, from his previous heat. He'll be coming out pretty shortly from there again. Heat 12, sorry, excuse me, he's got a little bit of a break now, a bit of a snooze in the pits if he really wanted to, but he's looking good. And yeah, I've got to say, I don't know what's going on with the Russians now. Emil Sayfutinov really struggling offensively to be world champion this year. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And Artem Laguta doesn't look the same guy. So impressive in Wrocław, so much speed, and so far hasn't scored a point. And that's almost inexplicable. I find that difficult to understand.
Yes, and we said this before the first round, Cal, didn't we, when we looked ahead to the Grand Prix series. And the way the format is this year with 4 weekends with 2 Grand Prix per weekend, we did say that even after the first weekend, there were going to be some high-profile riders, established Grand Prix riders, that were already going to be ruled out of the title race.
Well, they are. Emil Sayfutinov is one. He mathematically, of course, he could be world champion at this very early stage, but I'll tell you what, he's not going to be, and he's probably unlikely to make the top 6. So there'll be some big decisions to be made by the rights holders and the international body about who does get these picks, because as you rightly say, you're going to have some big hitters not making the top 6 this year, and they're getting distance at this very early stage. But maybe they can turn it around. You know, something just sparks off, and all of a sudden you see the speed coming back. But it is a big surprise for me that Artem Laguta can go from a rider that looks like unbeatable to a guy that really looks like he's struggling to even score a point. That's such a big swing in performance. Quite radical. I can't quite put the finger on it.
Well, we see Patrick Dudek there, and hopefully he's going to be okay. The bikes are still there, which means that he's going to continue.
Nasty looking fall, awkward looking fall, particularly when he was caught up with the handlebars. Never ideal that, and not the best way to start his night. And he's got a bit of work to do, and hopefully he can go amongst the points, because he's got 3 points, he's got a race win. You never know, race wins can be vital when it comes to the semi-final. You know, if he can just pick up 5 points from his next 3, it'll just be enough to get him through to the semi-finals.
Max Frick will be delighted with the fact that he got a win under his belt. We can hear from him now.
Well, Max, that's what we like to see. That was a good, good clean win as well. He came out a bit slower in the last heat. Let's talk about that last heat that's just gone by now.
Yeah, it was nice to get out the start. Having the inside game really helped there, I think. And, just to get some clean air. Matty put a bit of pressure on there, but I was able to put the counter back and finish with a win, which is nice. So, up to the first heat, I felt a little bit slow and made a couple of changes and felt much better in that one. So, I'm happy with that.
Okay, I've been asking a lot about the gates, because in our first set of 4 heats, all the gates won, but in that heat after the grading, it was just the red gate that took the win until Freddie. Do you think the red gate's going to work for the rest of the evening?
I'm not too sure. I think it depends on how the track develops. It's, how many ruts are there and kind of the dirt. So, you can see at the moment, the inside of the first corner has been really good. And I think coming from gate 1, you just got a little bit closer, which, makes it a little bit easier. So, if the dirt builds up a little bit more on the outside, I think the outside gates will start to kind of work a little bit better, hopefully.
Now, as a track, is it bunching you together?
It's pretty tight out there. The track's quite fast, so everyone's, makes it really difficult for people to pass. So when it does, it gets pretty close. So, that last heat, I was able to, Matty got by me and I was able to just get back by him again. So, it's making for some tight racing out there.
Keep it going, Max, thanks.
Yeah, pleased for Max Frick, because that's just what the doctor ordered for him, a real confidence booster. This man bounced back brilliantly after the difficult crash he had. But, in 2017 he pushed Jason Doyle all the way right down under, didn't he? We went to Australia and he rode so well, but that form has eluded him since then. Hasn't quite been that rider since then, but I'm sure he'll recapture it at some point. Plenty of track work going on, and he's getting the start paper lined up and marked out again for racing to continue in heat number 9. Freddie Lingman coming out of here again, and he's looking really good tonight. I've got to say that I've got to believe that after that Friday night in Wrocław, where he really...
Lima pasukan TNI yang sanggup bikin merinding dunia. Seperti yang kita tahu, TNI terdiri dari 3 angkatan, yaitu Angkatan Darat, Angkatan Laut, dan Angkatan Udara. Kebanyakan orang hanya tahu Kopassus, yaitu pasukan terbaik yang dimiliki oleh TNI, dan menduduki peringkat ketiga pasukan terbaik di dunia menurut penilaian Discovery Channel Military Edition tahun 2008. Berikut ini adalah 5 pasukan khusus terbaik yang dimiliki oleh TNI saat ini. Yang pertama yaitu Den Bravo 90. Detasmen Bravo 90 atau disingkat Den Bravo 90 dibentuk secara terbatas di lingkungan Korps Pasukan Khas TNI Angkatan Udara pada tahun 1990. Bravo berarti yang terbaik. Konsep pembentukannya merujuk kepada pemikiran Jenderal Giulio Docket, yaitu lebih mudah dan lebih efektif menghancurkan kekuatan udara lawan, yaitu dengan cara menghancurkan pangkalan atau instansi serta alutsistanya di darat daripada harus bertempur di udara. Kemampuan satu orang Den Bravo setara dengan 5 orang TNI. 2. Kopassus. Komando pasukan khusus yang disingkat menjadi Kopassus adalah bagian dari komando utama atau kotama tempur yang dimiliki oleh TNI Angkatan Darat di Indonesia. Kopassus memiliki kemampuan yang khusus seperti bergerak cepat di setiap medan, menembak dengan sangat tepat, pengintaian, dan anti-teror. Kemampuan satu orang Kopassus sama dengan 8 orang TNI. 3. Kopaska. Komando pasukan kata atau lebih dikenal dengan sebutan Kopaska didirikan pada tanggal 31 Maret 1962 oleh Presiden Soekarno untuk mendukung kampanye militer di Irian Jaya. Kopaska berkekuatan 3.000 prajurit, satu dari grup Armada Barat di Jakarta dan satu grup di Armada Timur di Surabaya. Tugas utama mereka adalah menyerbu kapal dan pangkalan musuh, menghancurkan instalasi bawah air, penyiapan perebutan pantai, dan operasi pendaratan kekuatan amfibi. Kemampuan satu orang Kopaska setara dengan 24 orang TNI. 4. Yontai VIP. Batalion Intai Amfibi atau disingkat Yontai VIP adalah satuan elit dalam korps marinir seperti halnya Kopassus dalam jajaran TNI Angkatan Darat. Dahulunya satuan ini dikenal dengan nama Kipam atau Komando Intai Para Amfibi. Untuk menjadi anggota Yontai VIP, calon diseleksi dari prajurit marinir yang memenuhi persyaratan mental, fisik, kesehatan, dan telah bertugas aktif minimal 2 tahun lamanya. Salah satu program latihan bagi siswa pendidikan Yontai VIP adalah berenang dalam kondisi tangan dan kaki terikat, yaitu dengan jarak sejauh 6 km di Selat Madura. Dari satuan ini kemudian direkrut lagi prajurit terbaik untuk masuk ke dalam detasmen Jala Mangkara atau disingkat menjadi Denjaka, yaitu pasukan elitnya TNI Angkatan Laut. Dalam segi tingkat kemampuan, satu orang Yontai VIP sama dengan 24 orang TNI. Yang kelima yaitu Denjaka. Detasmen Jala Mangkara atau disingkat menjadi Denjaka adalah sebuah detasmen pasukan khusus TNI Angkatan Laut. Denjaka adalah satuan gabungan antara personil Kopaska dan Yontai VIP Korps Marinir Angkatan Laut. Anggota Denjaka dididik di bumi marinir Cilandak dan harus menyelesaikan suatu pendidikan yang disebut PTAL atau penanggulangan teror aspek laut. Lama pendidikan ini adalah 9 bulan. Dikhususkan untuk satuan anti teror, walaupun mereka juga bisa dioperasikan di mana saja, terutama anti teror aspek laut. Dalam segi tingkat kemampuan, satu orang Denjaka setara dengan 120 orang TNI.